Hi, this is Andy on trendfollower.co.uk. It's Sunday the 31st of April 2017 and I'm going to have a look at the different asset classes that I like to follow and see how they're doing, because one of them has produced a signal to sell, so you'll have to watch a video to find out which one. But before we start, let me just do a quick disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor. This video is just about what I do. It's not a recommendation of what you should do. So just watch it for a bit of fun. It might be interesting to you. So I hope you enjoy it, but it's not financial advice, please. Now, if you don't know how I go about things, do have a look at my website, which is www, of course, trendfollower.co.uk. This is the home page, and if you click on the little menu button, what you'll find is a drop-down menu like this, shows the different pages, and if you click on the how does it work link, then that'll take you to a page where if you input your name and email address, it'll take you through to a link to get a 25-minute email video about how I go about my trend following business. So if you want more detail, do click on that and it'll tell you how I go about it. So please do that, and then you'll end up on my mailing list and you'll get my weekly videos like this, which I produce most weekends. So I won't go into the methodology here. I'm just going to go straight into the different asset classes and see how they're doing. And I'm starting off with shares, and I use the Fundsmith Equity Unit Trust to get exposure to shares. And this green line, of course, is the average for the year, the MA52, and the black line is the weekly close price. So it went up a bit this last week, which is great because I've had a few down weeks, as you can see, but this last week went sharply up and closed up here, so well above the MA52, so I'm quite happy to remain invested. So I don't need to do anything about my share investments. Now, property, I actually use two funds to get exposure to property. I use the TR Property Investment Trust, which has both a mixture of European and UK property companies and has property held in its own right as well. So it's been doing really well in recent weeks, so you can see where I bought it here. It's gone up nicely. Past couple of years has been terribly choppy for this investment trust. It's been hopeless for a trend follower, having had a few years of being brilliant for a trend follower, but it's been really useless. You can see that very difficult to trade at all because it hasn't been trending, it's just been going sideways. But it seems to be trending upwards at the moment, so I'm very happy to be on board. So this trade is nicely in profit. I don't need to do anything just at the moment. And the other half of my slice that I devote to property investment, I've got invested in an iShares UK property ETF, IUKP, and you can see was doing very badly, but in 2017 it's been doing rather better. So had a signal, then a false signal, then a real signal which I took, and here we are doing nicely at the moment. So quite happy to stay invested in property at the moment. Gold is the next slice. Let's have a look at the ETF that I use to track gold. I use PHGP to decide whether I want to be invested in gold or not. This is gold priced in British sterling. So you can see it has been doing very well, and this week it's come right down to the MA52. It hasn't closed below it, so it's not to me a sell signal. Will it go down and then come up again? Will it go right down and keep going down? Of course, I don't know, but at the moment it hasn't produced a sell signal. So I'm going to remain invested in gold, even though I don't use PHGP for the investment. I'm actually going to just use PHGP as my indicator, and it's not giving me a sell signal just at the moment. Okay, the next slice of the pie is commodities, and I use the City Natural Resources High Yield Trust for exposure to commodities. It has quite a mix of different commodities within it, so this just gives me exposure to the asset class. And during 2016 and 2017, CYN has been doing spectacularly well until recently, when it started to fall, and it went up and it went down, it went up and went down, it went down enough at the end of last week to close below the average price for the year. So I actually have a sell signal for commodities. So I'm actually going to exit my CYN long trade. It'll have made me a nice profit. You can see where I got in down here. You can see where I'll be closing around about here unless the price drops to the floor on Tuesday morning, because tomorrow is a bank holiday, so I can't trade tomorrow. So it'll be a profitable trade, but I was hoping it was going to go up and up and up and up and up, but it hasn't. Now, that's not to say that next week it won't rise again. It may well do. You quite often get this once the price hits the MA52, it can bounce around above and below. I'm expecting to get one or two false signals. I'm expecting the price of commodities to rise again in the future, and I would expect to go long, but I am actually coming out because the price of commodities may just go down and down and down and down. I don't know, nobody knows. I can say what I think might happen, but of course I don't know. So all I'm doing is following the trend. That's what I do. I'm a trend follower. So signal to exit commodities. There we go. Bonds. Now, I don't trade bonds. I have 3 bond exposures. They're all iShares ETFs, one denominated in British pounds, one in euros, and one in US dollars. And I don't trade them, so I just hold them. I don't even look at the graphs. And I just have some currency hedging to allow for one currency doing better than others, which, you know, they tend to sort of take their turns doing that. But I just hold the bonds. I don't come in and out of the market, so I don't need to do anything with those. So looking at the traffic lights now, shares on a green, property on a green, gold on a green, only just. Commodities is now on a red, so I am going to be selling commodities. Bonds is always on a green for me, and so this week, what do I have to do? I am going to close my CYN trade, the City Natural Resources High Yield Trust. I shall be getting online and closing my trade in CYN, and it'll net me a nice profit. Once I close the trade, I'll be able to calculate what the profit's been, and I'll let you know. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next week. This is my website. If you haven't had a little look around my website, please do so. It'd be great to have you on board. Sign up and get my newsletter and email and video each week, and you can follow what I do. So I'll do another video for you next week. See you then. Bye for now.